What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome in to CHGO Bulls Postgame. Coming to you live from our studios here in the West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck. You can follow me on Twitter at Bulls_Peck. Joining with my guys, Big Dave, BAWL Sports, Will the Go Gottlieb, Will_Gottlieb is his handle, and filling in for Joseph tonight, our panel producer, Kevin Wells on the controls.
Let's go.
Bulls get the win over the Hornets. 119-112 is the final.
Yeah, it's a win.
I don't know if I've ever enjoyed a Bulls victory less than that one.
You have.
Just being bluntly honest with y'all right now, that was garbage. Mm-hmm. That was garbage basketball against garbage basketball. Mm-hmm. The Bulls, I think, went scoreless in the final near 4 minutes of that game.
3 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Just trash. Absolute trash. You need overtime to be that joke of a half a squad? Mm-hmm. Wow. You know what? I know it's a win, but that needed to happen.
Did it?
Why are we doing this? Why?
Why are they winning?
That was the least fun win I've ever watched.
Oh, man.
It was trash.
You a Bears fan saying that? Least fun win?
Bulls win.
Oh, least fun Bulls win. Gotcha. All right. Least fun Bulls win. Yeah, I just like winning. Winning's always fun to me. So, yeah, I'd rather take a win and look like pure shit than take a loss and look like pure shit. Because instead of that one hat throw, it's going to be a trillion hat throws with a loss. Oh, yeah. You know it. I've watched this movie. I know how this go. But I will take the win every single time because as the great Herm Edwards told us, you play to win the game. That's what I'm here for, and that's what we're here to do. It wasn't pretty at all. At all. It was bad. Oh, my goodness. But you walked away with a victory because I promise you going to overtime and walking away with a loss against them, no, absolutely not. You had to come away with that victory against them, man. But however you can get it, come hell or high water, you had to walk away with a victory. And they did that. Wasn't great, didn't look good, didn't inspire anything at all. But, well, maybe a hat throw from Matt. But I'll take the victory, and you move on. Winning ugly, ugly wins still get dates, man. Ugly wins still get dates.
It's just a matter of how you feel about this team, where they are and where they're headed, to enjoy an ugly win or to not enjoy an ugly win.
Well, yeah, I'm a Bulls fan, so
am I.
My team wins. But I'm saying my team wins. I'm going to be happy they got a win.
And I was talking in pregame about how I'm terrified that at least mediocre record in January will prevent this front office from doing a goddamn thing and letting another transfer window just walk on by.
Mm-hmm. Zach don't want to be here. Don't seem like it. So that trade's happening. So that window, trust me, that window will not go on by without that young man going out of it. So you'll be fine. That trade will happen. But in the meantime, I got to win. I guess I'll take being the one happy about getting a W. I'll take it.
I mean, I really do not enjoy watching the Hornets play basketball, but the Bulls did win, and I thought they had some good moments throughout that game. Coby was really good. I just tweeted out a video of some of the finishes that he had. Like, I was just noticing he was finishing off the glass in like really creative ways today, and just it's good to see, even with Zach back in the lineup, him continue to be ball dominant and to be really an efficient scorer. He had 27 points on 10 of 19 shooting, made a couple threes. So it's like back to just a normal, good offensive night from him. It's not going to be like a 9 for 9 3-point shooting night or a 0 for 15 stretch. I just want like creative, consistent basketball from Coby. Sure. So that was good. But yeah, I mean, I think the Bulls are kind of firmly in the middle. They got to continue to take care of business against these bad teams, but that's where they are. That's the reality of it. And
middle of the road.
I don't see a way up or down, frankly. I mean, even if like, I think Dave, you're operating from an assumption of like, Zach doesn't want to be here. The Bulls don't want Zach to be here, so he's going to get traded.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure, just because I feel like the market around the league is just not really conducive to Zach getting traded. Like, if they do, like, would they have to throw a pick at a team to take on that contract? I mean, it just feels like that's kind of the place where it's getting. And at that point, to me, just keep him.
Yeah, I think as we get closer to the deadline, I think that's when you'll start seeing how, I don't want to say desperate, but that's the only word I could think of.
Yeah.
You'll start seeing that's how desperate teams are to make a move and to make changes. Lakers are kind of getting in that situation.
They're close.
Right about now. Sacramento has already told you who they've made available for their team. So they're not in that same realm with the Lakers, but they're almost getting there. So just as it continues to go on, I think you'll see more and more of that. And just, again, depending on how Zach plays. But I haven't seen anything, and it's only been 2 games, obviously, but I haven't seen anything for me to not believe that he's still not going to be traded. Like, it still just feels like, yeah, I'm out of here. You know, this is going to happen. You can see it in the way he's kind of playing. Oh, yeah. You know, that you can tell it that way, like just extra passive. You know, like not even within the confines of the system passive. Just, oh, that's a wide open shot, nah. You know, nah, I'm gonna do that right there. He's trying to, you know, do his thing and find his way in, but you see him hanging out more in the corner now during these stretches. Again, the DeMar DeRozan stretch where he had the ball 4 straight times, which was crazy, by the way. But he had the ball 4 straight times in that fourth quarter during that 3-minute stretch where they couldn't score. Zach was just chilling, you know, kind of in the corner on those. I think he took 1 3 in that scenario, but everything was going through DeMar DeRozan, and Zach wasn't trying to make himself readily available to be a guy that could be taking those shots.
I mean, I guess you have to give Zach some modicum of credit for trying to observe, like very easily observable, trying to play a more team-branded basketball and not force himself to get X amount of touches, X amount of shots up.
Sure.
I mean, he still appears to be a bit rusty with his shot. He was just 2 of 9 tonight. You know, only taking 9 shots and scoring 9 points on those 9 shots in 36 minutes off the bench. It's like, you know, that worry, hypothetically, that you just tossed out, Will, a minute ago of like, if the Bulls are still very set on moving Zach and he's set on them moving him, you're talking about a guy coming back from a month-long injury absence and trying to show some kind of value to a team. Like, okay, yeah, credit to Zach. He did also distribute a little bit tonight. He made some nice passes after he hit that tough step-back 3. He had a nice drive and dish on the next possession. Like, you saw some of it. But that's not, in my opinion anyway, enough to convince some team out there that what they need to go out and get right now before the deadline passes is Zach LaVine.
Sure.
Well, they're also just not playing to his strengths at all.
That
like
too.
he's to me, yes, he maybe is trying to overpass a little bit in order to fit in, but like they're not utilizing any of Zach's strengths. It seems like they've already kind of moved on without him, and he's just still there.
Yeah.
Like he's still just kind of hanging around until they like actually move him off the roster. It doesn't feel like they're really putting him in a position to succeed at all. Like he's shooting, you know, spot up threes. Like he's a rhythm player. He's an isolation scorer. They got to like, if they want him to look good, they need to feature him a little bit more.
Peacock, he's got to fly.
But at the same time, if you feature him, then you're just going back to the way that you used to play. So it's a tricky situation for the Bulls to navigate as they do this. But it just seems like this thing is like not helping itself resolve at all because they're trying to move on without him, but he's still there.
Yeah. And again, like you said, it's 2 games. I think you'll have more time to figure that stuff out about how, you know, you get him more acclimated to the team and him not actually forcing being passive, but just actually doing it. Also, his defense has been much, much better. I'll
He has
say
been,
that as
yeah.
well.
Multiple
Very
people in the
solid.
comments mentioning Zach's quality defense
cool.
tonight.
Okay.
Like, since he returned in these couple of games, his defense on the whole has looked solid.
Yeah.
Ronky Show in the comments specifically pointing out that stop he had one-on-one against Terry Rozier. In I think it was the Hornets' last possession of regulation that could have been the game-winning possession.
Yes.
Zach defended Terry pretty well on that one.
He did a good job of that. I was laughing because when Will was saying like a team that's just moved on, I was just thinking of a guy who like graduated high school like years ago, shows up at one of the high school parties.
McConaughey.
Yeah, exactly.
And Dazed and Confused.
Exactly.
He's got a little, soft pack of smoke just rolled up in his white tee.
It's like, dude, what are you here for?
6-year super senior, just still hanging around.
Still hanging around. You know what I mean? Like, just still there.
You know, a lot of people go to college for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
But that's, man. Like, I think just as it goes on, just trying to find his rhythm and find himself. Same with Vooch, I think. But Vooch has kind of I thought he found a better rhythm with the starting unit tonight, especially in that fourth quarter and in that overtime. I thought they played off him pretty well, getting him the ball, letting him make the extra pass, and then making the pass off of that. That's the Vooch that I remember them using. Taking those bunnies in the lane, those hooks, and those things like that, not hitting them. But then he started scoring later on, especially in that overtime. He was solid in the overtime. I'm going to give him that for sure. But, like he kind of found his rhythm and found his way. I think Zach, as you mentioned, is just a guy who is not used to being in the system, but I don't want to say he's hardened like I am the system or nothing like that, but he's used to doing more within it. So I think he'll find his way, but it's just going to take him definitely more time. And he's coming off the bench, something he definitely – I don't care what he said. I don't think he likes it coming off the bench, but he understands it.
Well, and that's the other interesting thing. And look, for a while, the Bulls bench was getting worked because the team was so shorthanded.
Yeah.
While Zach was out and while Vooch was out, and then you lose Torrey Craig, you miss Caruso for a couple of games in there. Pat's out for a couple of games in there. And so suddenly, Billy's bench is pretty thin.
Yeah.
Now, in the last couple of games, the Bulls bench has still gotten worked, but their bench features 30-plus minutes from Levine and Vooch.
Yeah.
Like the entire Bulls bench was in the net negatives tonight. Vooch was a -9, Zach a -5 among them. Whereas your entire starting lineup, even Pat, who played limited minutes and finished as a +2, but I mean, DeMar's ugly hero ball down the stretch in the fourth quarter, DeMar ended up being a +14. Drummond was a +16. Caruso 17 and Coby 11. Mm-hmm. Will, you said in one of our recent chats that, of course, the assumption is that Billy will, before too long, just put Zach and Vooch back into the starting lineup because that seems like the default decision to make.
Yeah.
Do you still think that is the right decision? And I've seen some people in our comments saying, like, look, Drummond and Vooch both put up big numbers tonight, but Drummond looked better. What do you make of that and the fact that Billy still has this sort of everyone assuming he's going to make this flip of who's coming off his bench and who's starting, but it doesn't look very pretty.
To me, Drummond is like a specialist in the way that you have like a microwave scorer come in off the bench or a 3-and-D wing, but he's a rebounder, and that's kind of it. Like that's what he does, and he gets a lot of putbacks as a result of it, and he has games where he has, huge production, like today when he had 21 points on 9 of 12 shooting, 15 rebounds, 5 offensive. Like that's a monster game in 23 minutes. I would be stunned if Vooch was not back in the starting lineup at some point. I mean, he played 30 tonight. I know they're trying to keep him down on minutes, but he played all of overtime, and obviously that is an extra 5 minutes. So, 25 minutes without the overtime period. That's kind of, I think, the range where they wanted him. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be back. I would be very surprised if he was not back in the starting lineup. And I think that's the way it should be. Like, the offense runs better with him. It just does. He's able to make plays. Like, you saw that back cut pass to Caruso for the layup. Like, Drummond's not doing that stuff. And it's not a knock on Drummond. He's really good at what he does. And he's better at that stuff than Vooch is. But there's a certain style that the Bulls are trying to play, and they need Vooch in order to do that.
Yeah. Do you think some of this also can be situational? Like, whatever team they're playing, like, even in the fourth quarter, like Billy saying, oh, okay, you know what, Drum, I'm going to roll with you on this one. Because sometimes with Billy, it doesn't feel like it's situational. It just feels like I'm going with Vooch, period.
Well, I think it should be that way. I think Vooch is a much better defender. The way he executes to his scheme, like Drummond gets some steals. Like, he gets these flashy plays that make it seem like he's really good at playing defense overall, but it's just that he got that flashy play. And I think it's easy for a lot of people to gravitate towards that. But, like, they were top 5 defense last year, and it's really hard to do that in general. It's really, really hard to do that if you have a weak defensive center. So Vooch was doing something right. He was executing to the scheme, and they need him to be out there doing that. I think he does not get enough credit for just being like a jack of all trades. He may not be a master of any, but like he's really good at a lot of different stuff, and the Bulls kind of need him to steady the ship while he's out there. But they also have a great backup center. Like, I don't understand why it has to be like, oh, Drum's now like edging him out for the starting job. Like, no, he's just a good backup center, and he played 23 minutes tonight. That's a lot.
I think it's because the chemistry of it feels different with Drummond out there with the team. Like, it's good. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, because I do agree with you in the end. I do agree with you, but I think I'm doing it a disservice if I didn't acknowledge how they look with Drummond out there. And it's a different vibe, and it's a different feel that feels normal to them. And some of those players, like some of those guys are not used to a dynamic center like Vooch. Some of them are used to pick, roll, ball, score, and you see that with DeMar DeRozan. Like, I've watched him several times run that pick and roll. He knows here comes Drummond. Like, I've seen Drummond get more alley-oops. You know what I mean? Because they understand it better. Like, that's a simple, easy play for you right there. Boom, there's a oop. It feels sometimes it feels more comfortable for them. And they know when they get it inside, just as far as him being a bully with his size. Not that he's a better scorer or has more skill than Vooch inside, but it just feels more simplistic. And sometimes I think they need a 2 + 2 = 4 instead of doing, algebra, And algebra's better, clearly, you know what I mean? But addition still works. And it feels like on some of those occasions for some of those players, it just works better sometimes with Drummond. That's why I was asking about it situationally sometimes, because the players, I think, will dictate which one of those guys should be out there when.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Billy shouldn't be flexible and open to different ideas. I've just heard Billy talk about it, and like, even just like in the way that he says it sometimes, like Drummond gets a little excited out there when he's like trying to contain the ball up to touch. Like, I just don't think he really trusts him at that same level.
That part right there, yep.
And if we're being frank, like, there's about a $15 million a year difference in what else is going on, and you're not paying Vooch. Like, I just think that would cause problems. Like, Drummond, to his credit, has really accepted a bench role. Like, that's a tough transition to be a guy who starts and plays 35 minutes a game for the first 10 years of his career on the Pistons, has a ton of success in the box score at the very least, and now has to accept being a limited minute backup 5. That's a tough thing to do.
He seems to be doing an admirable job accepting that role. You know who hasn't been asked to accept that role at any point in his career yet? Vooch. Who's your starter? Who's making 20? I think it would open up all kinds of cans of worms if Billy were to make a bold move like that. Okay, let's take our first break. We'll come back. We'll get into more thoughts on tonight's Bulls win over the Hornets. Even if it was ugly, it still counts the same in the win-loss columns.
It definitely
does.
Yes, it does.
We'll get to more of y'all's thoughts as well. Throw us some more while we're taking this quick ad break. And you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up button if you're watching along on YouTube. Make sure you also subscribe to CHGO Sports YouTube channel. Tonight's CHGO Bulls postgame brought to you by our friends at Circa. I'm still holding out hope for Washington to make this an interesting second half. I mean, 17-10. It looked for a minute like Michigan was going to run away with it.
It definitely did.
So my bets are still alive.
All right.
Make your bets at Circa for whatever is going on. NFL wildcard weekend coming up. Plenty of NBA action in the middle of a jam-packed NBA season. Of course, Circa has the wonderful tight hold model and
Tight.
and the tight money line splits. They always strive to have those lines out of the gate at minus 110 odds, rarely pushing them to minus 115 and minus 120, which many of those other sports bettors do often. Circa also keeps as little money as possible on those large market bets, like NBA futures, for example. If you think you know who's going to the NBA title, the best place to get the best value on those kind of bets is at Circa. They encourage bettors to, of course, download and explore not only their Circa Sports Illinois app, but any sports betting apps that are available to us these days, and we know that y'all know there are several of them. Circa's convinced that more often than not, you'll find the best values, the best odds, the best user experience, and they know without a doubt you will find the best customer service at Circa. Real people behind the Circus Sports brand who resolve issues in a timely fashion, unlike those other sports books who use the dreaded chatbots that no one wants to deal with. Just like overtime between the Bulls and Hornets, no one wants chatbots. So Circa isn't going to make you use them. Just like Circa wouldn't have made you watch that Hornets-Bulls overtime. They're too nice. Download the Circus Sports Illinois app at circusports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
Getting it right and getting it tight. That's what it's all about in the new year for a lot of people. Getting it correct, having your core right. Like my man K-Dub over there, like he's going skiing. He's got to keep that core right and tight when he's running down that hill and hopefully not falling and tumbling and doing those things.
Yeah, that's the key.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key. Got to stay on those skis, sir. Got to stay right on them.
First time.
Is there another name for the skis? Like a cool name, like Sticks or something like that?
I don't know.
Should find that
Well,
out.
you ski,
I don't know.
right?
I don't think so.
Snowboard. That's different.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Little bit.
What about the cross-country skis? Are those the same kind of skis that are downhill skis, or are they different?
Kind of skis.
Different kind of skis.
Yeah, it got to be a different type of wax on there, probably.
Oh, now we're getting into
I
waxing.
didn't even know you
Cross
put
country
wax
are
on
like
skis.
Different type of aerodynamics,
They're like
maybe.
super narrow and like pretty thick.
Uh-huh.
You got to like bounce on the snow a little bit, whereas like downhill skis are pretty wide.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, to do all these things, you need to be right and in shape. And the place you can do that at is the Midtown Athletic Club.
That's where we were going?
That's where we were going, Matt. You see how I do things?
This is a lovely tangent.
Thank you very much. Palatine in the northwest suburbs, Bannockburn in the North Shore, Willowbrook in the southwest suburbs, and the Midtown Athletic Club and Hotel in the middle of Bucktown and Lincoln Park. It is Matt Peck's sister approved. And also, guys, the Midtown Palatine has launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club, which will be complete early this year, just in time to get your New Year's resolutions going. A couple of y'all probably stopped. A couple of y'all probably still rolling with it. But Midtown Athletic Club is going to let you know you ain't got to stop. Keep it going. Midtown is offering no initiation fees this January. So no initiation fees at their Bannockburn, Palatine, and Willowbrook locations. They got something for everybody. Single people, families with kids, people looking to make lifestyle changes, holistic wellness, all of it covered. And over 100 classes per week are included with that membership that you're going to get and love. Yoga, boxing, spinning, cycling, cross-training, group fitness, high-intensity interval training, all of it. The tennis courts, which Carm just raves about all the time. He says if you sign up, find him on them courts, and he'll give you that work. He's serious about this stuff out here. Indoor and outdoor. Professional quality all the way. That is what Midtown Athletic Club is all about. So head over to midtown.com/CHGO and find out more and to tour the Midtown Athletic Club nearest you. Midtown Athletic Club. Sweat it out. Sweat it out.
Got a quick little breaking news.
Yeah, I
Did you
just
see
saw
that?
that.
I'll let
Was
you
going to
read
bring it
yeah.
up.
Yeah, go for it.
Come on with it.
Just coming across my screen, Memphis Grizzlies star John Morant undergoing season-ending shoulder surgery.
Woo.
Well, you know, from a Bulls fan's perspective, the Bulls have the Grizz coming up not too far from now on their schedule.
They sure do.
We were talking in pregame about how that suddenly is a tougher test.
Yeah.
Because Ja had them playing better after his return from suspension.
He did.
That is just really unfortunate.
Yeah, January 20th.
Right.
Man.
That's tough, man.
I mean,
Tough for
he
people who already
serves,
bought those
he serves
tickets.
his suspension. He comes back. And I mean, like, even in his first game back, just goes crazy Ja.
Yes, he did.
Game-winning bucket on an incredible drive.
Yep.
He's, you know, all of a sudden revives this previously dead Grizzlies team that were just stuck in the basement of the standings while he was out. Man, that is awful news.
It's awful, man. And it's stuff we think about and have discussed talking about John Morant and these injuries just by the way that he plays. Like, it just was like, bro, how long is this going to be sustainable, you know, for him to be, you know, just super athletic like that, but just throwing his body into people. And I'm sure, like, that's the only way he knows, you know, he knows how to play. And that's what got him to where he is, you know, at this point in time. But honestly, man, it was just like, dude, we kind of felt like this was going to start happening to him, man. And it sucks because he's so good, and I want to see him out there playing. But, man, I don't know. Maybe it's a new kind of form he has to learn. And I think having a guy like Derrick Rose there who was like that for sure is a great thing to have that can kind of discuss how to change your game.
Yeah, I mean, that suspension and the Steven Adams injury and the Brandon Clark injury, the season has felt really kind of lost for the Grizzlies in a lot of ways. I know they're playing a lot better since Ja came back. I think they won 4 in a row, lost 4 in a row, and then won a couple more. But still 10 games under 500. They're 5.5 games out of the 10th seed with 3 teams ahead of them. So it's just, I don't want to say a lost season, but it just felt like it was going to be really hard to overcome that kind of a hole. We know how good of a group they have and how talented they are and how effective they can be together when healthy. And so hopefully they'll be back next year. Maybe you add a high draft pick now in with this group. So, just a really tough blow. You always want to see like the best young players in the league out there competing. Yeah. And, just tough for Ja.
It's tough, man. And the city.
Yeah, wish him the best. Hopefully, surgery goes fine and he can have the rest of the season, off season to rehab and, come back just as strong next season. But yeah, it's just a real blow, not just for him and for the Grizzlies, but for the NBA. I mean, Ja's incredibly entertaining.
Seriously, man. My favorite.
Shout out to a handful of Bulls fans. It sounded like we're at the whatever the hell they call the Hornets Arena. Down
Spectrum Center.
There you go. In Charlotte tonight. Chris Davis saying it was the first time seeing his Bulls in person down in NC. One of our regulars in the comments, 828 Lawson, saying enjoyed watching the young Bull in person for the first time. Right on. Boy Coby.
Right on.
And somebody was also just talking about Terry Rozier in the comments. I missed where it went. Oh, Lord A.O., how did Terry score 39? I was there, and he was at 40 out of nowhere. Shout out to Bulls Nation, a well-traveling fan base. We know this. We've always known this. Yeah. Doesn't matter where, what stadium they're in, the broadcast can always cut to and find dozens of Bulls fans, especially in a very empty Hornets arena like it was tonight.
Stacey said it was pumping in sound, man.
But, yeah, and I mean, like, not only did Terry drop in 39, but he was stuck on 39 for like the final couple minutes regulation and then all of overtime. But yeah, it was just Terry Rozier and a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, a lot of creative players out there tonight that I can't count how many times I said who?
Smith Jr., but not that Smith Jr., but a different Smith Jr.
Different Smith Jr., not that Smith Jr., but the other Smith Jr.
The guy whose name makes it sound like he's like a female folk singer from the 90s, McGowan's or whatever.
Yo.
Boom, roasted.
Yes, boom. But it was like that. Like, a lot of these players I just didn't know, and I don't think a lot of people knew. But they played well, like especially from the three-point line. Like they were hitting their threes and keeping that game close, like we all saw. But man, yeah, it was just a lot of players I didn't know, don't have the honor or pleasure of knowing. But they got another game coming up against them at the end of the month. So yeah, they better get to know because you almost lost in this game to this undermanned team, man. I don't know what it is with Bulls and these undermanned teams. Like, Cleveland. There's another one, undermanned, and they ran them out the gym. And these 2 games against Charlotte were not blowouts by any stretch of the imagination. So I don't know what it is, but that's interesting. But, yeah, I didn't know they were. I'm sorry, I wasn't familiar with your game. but yeah, man, but I'll take the win over this team because they're still in the NBA. So I'll take the W.
Shout out to Jamal in the comments who said, love what you guys do. I think Levine is playing well enough to get traded. I don't know if I agree. If the Warriors get desperate, would you want CP3 and Kuminga, or would you prefer a trade from Sacramento or Atlanta?
Sacramento.
Sacramento probably. They basically, the whole like Barnes and Herter trade package that Bulls fans have talked about is like being offered up everywhere right now, apparently.
Correct.
But no, CP3. You mean like the 85-year-old point guard with a broken wrist, CP3?
Here we go.
No, thank you.
All right.
No, thank you.
Even if it cleared out $30 million of cap space so you could re-sign DeMar DeRozan and Patrick Williams and run it back one more time?
I'm so depressed, Will.
3?
No.
Hitting them below the belt. Man.
No. No.
What about this trade, man? You guys were talking about Drummond like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
There's going to be teams calling on him, no doubt. I mean,
Oh,
right?
yeah. For sure.
What are you moving him for? Anything? I mean, Bulls want players, but are you moving him for anything at this point?
Well, but
you
see,
want to
that's-
hang on to him and keep
what
winning
would
games?
the Bulls move him for?
Yeah.
Good question.
Or
They
what would you move him for?
Draft capital.
I don't think
Or
you think he's
maybe
getting
a
the first
young
rounder?
player who, like, has potential, needs a change of scenery, etc. I do not care about wins between now and April. To me, that is missing the boat. You are focusing on the wrong shit if you're making trades between now and the deadline that are going to try and help you move from 10th to 9th between now and the regular season finale in April.
Excuse me, they're already 9th.
Okay.
Get that right.
Sorry.
By a half game.
That's
son.
called
If you're
That's
making
right.
trades
Playing
before the
game.
deadline
right.
with the goal of staying at 9th and not falling to 10th.
I don't think that's the
Oh,
goal
God.
to stay at 9th. To get a little higher. And you got a lot of time to do it. So keep winning. That's all you can do. Keep winning, keep playing, keep going. Look at Matt. I don't wanna.
No, I don't. I legit hate this team so much right now. Like, I love the Bulls, and I will forever love the Bulls. I am cursed. I am a lifelong Bulls fan. I will be a lifelong Bulls fan. But, like, right now, I hate this team. I hate where they are. I hate what I am afraid that they are going to do / not do in the next month before the trade deadline. And an overtime win over a joke of a Hornets team does not make me feel any better about it.
If you already hate him, what would anything make you feel better about it? You're going to be mad regardless, so just be mad.
Thank
I'm
you.
Be over here.
Yes.
That's cool. Be mad.
I will be.
That's cool, man. I'm going to be over here saying Bulls win. Let's get another win, play the next game.
I mean, silver lining, Coby.
Kobe.
Dear sweet Coby.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry. I know one of our regulars, P. Will supporters, been sounding off in the comments, mad about Patrick Williams playing a very limited number of minutes tonight. I mean, what did you see from Pat tonight? Because I saw nothing special.
Yeah. It started off okay, and then it was like it was one of those games that I'm used to Pat, which is not a compliment. I mean, when I forget that he's there.
Yeah.
And it was one of those games. I was just like, oh, yeah, Pat's on the team. Oh, yeah, I forgot. He's out here. It was annoying doing it like that. I want more from Pat. He makes these moves, and he just doesn't have a finishing move when he gets to the bucket, you know? Like, he made a great Euro step. It was a 1-on-3 fast break, and he made a great Euro step. And it was like, oh, that was a great move. And then he tries to lay it up. Now, the players to go up with the dunk because you're huger than everyone. You're supposed to go up and try to slam it on these dudes. No, went up with this little lay-in, didn't go in. Saw him try to put up a reverse. It was like, I don't know what that was. Like I don't know. I don't know what it was.
It's
but
timid.
Timid.
It's the same
Thank you. That's the
timid
word.
bullshit
That's the
that
word.
we see from Pat
That's the
regularly, and then we occasionally see those explosive moments.
Yeah.
And you're like, then, why do you go up like Oliver Twist to the basket sometimes?
Yo.
Please, sir. Would you mind if I score? Please, sir.
Well
God damn
done.
it, use your muscles.
Well done.
Please, sir.
That was awesome.
Do you mind if I shoot now?
That was awesome, man. Yeah, I just wanted to feel it more from him. What did he get? 22 minutes? Is that what he played tonight? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just I didn't feel him out there against a squad that doesn't have a lot to stop him. And it feels like the only person stopping him is usually him. So it just didn't feel like, he was out there. And I don't like saying that shit at all. I like talking about Pat glowingly. Like, I enjoy speaking about Patrick Williams glowingly,
Same.
bro. Like, it's fun for me to talk about him like that. But he started fast and then just kind of fizzled out a little bit. I mean, he had 6 shots, and I think he had 3 of those in the first quarter. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to see more. I feel I'm saying the same things about him. I would like to see more from him, more aggression, and it's okay for him to miss and to fail, but it just has to be aggressive for me to do it.
Yeah, I think that's all very fair. I mean, 6 field goal attempts, did not really feel like he was out there at times. I think I even said like at the second quarter, oh yeah, Pat.
You're right. You
Pat's
did.
back in the game.
Yeah.
Forgot about him.
Yeah.
You know, he does. It's like he's doing the same stuff well. He's struggling with the other same stuff. And even if you have like slow incremental growth or just are kind of flatlining,
Yeah.
if you're good, that's fine. And he's kind of flatlined in the things that he's good at. And when I say flatlining, I mean he's dead. He's just like consistently the same as a defender. He's consistently the same as a spot-up three-point shooter. But I haven't really seen him take any steps. He had a month there where he looked a lot better. He was scoring the ball more. And even before Zach came back, I think he started to decline a little bit again. And he's got plenty of opportunities, just not really a scorer. And I think that's okay.
I think that's all right.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't need to be like a 25-point per game kind of guy. I think it would be great if he could get up to 15. But
Well,
like
P. Will support in the comments is really excited about a small sample size of games where he was averaging 15 and 5 boards. So,
yeah,
you know, there's
that was great. And now
Great.
he's back to
Great.
8 to 10 points. And if
Cool.
he can stay at 15, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
But that's what he's got to do.
8 points, 5 rebounds for him tonight in those
And
22
look,
minutes.
to at least play somewhat of a defender of P. Will supporter in the comments, whose P. Will takes are out of control.
Shout out
Love
to
you. Look, and I am not saying that I agree with the very common narrative among Bulls fans that the reason P. Will hasn't developed and blossomed is because DeMar and Vooch and Zach, you know, this vet trio are getting all the touches and all the offense is flowing through to him, and he doesn't have the room to improve. He doesn't have the opportunity. I'm not saying I agree with that. But if the Bulls actually were to call a spade and be like, well, what should we prioritize for the rest of the season? Should we prioritize maybe trying to move from 9th to 7th? Or should we prioritize maybe still being competitive, but shifting the focus of who and what this team is about? Because you cannot deny that when Patrick Williams is asked to do more on this team, we see him do more on this team. And if you're talking about a guy, as you just mentioned, with a contract decision this offseason, I know if P. Will is going to stick around, I'd feel a hell of a lot better about it if I get more of the sample size of a guy who can get you closer to 15 or 16 and you know, some boards, hopefully more, per game than the absent ballot one that we see a lot.
Well, one, when you see Zach leave, I think I can bring that discussion back. When Zach gets traded, like, because he'll have, you know, more room, more time, more everything on the floor.
But
to
I
do what
actually
he
don't
needs
know if
to
that's
do.
true because they want to trade for players for help now. Like there's a chance that they could bring in, they chip out Zach, who's not been playing, and you
Right.
bring in Kevin Herter and Harrison Barnes.
But neither of them are going to start. Who's hurt or starting over?
Who's starting at 2 with Zach out?
It's going to be Caruso. They're not going to put Caruso on the bench for Herter.
I feel like Coby, Herter, DeMar, Barnes, Vooch is not.
It's not a bad lineup, but I don't
think
think
that's
they
what it
would
would be.
I don't think they would put Caruso on the bench for that.
They
Unless
want,
Caruso
they want
wants
to
to.
manage Caruso's minutes though. They want him to play. They'll close with him.
Yeah, but it's like even today, like didn't he start? He started today, right?
He did,
Like,
but 2 starters were on the bench today.
yeah, true indeed. But I don't know if they would do that. I don't know. I don't see that. I don't see them putting
I just don't
Herter
think
out there.
nothing
I'm
that
putting
they've
Caruso
done-
on the bench for Herter.
Nothing that they've done in the past 3 years has been a move that prioritizes the development of the young players. Like they're not focused on Patrick's growth; they're focused on winning games.
What
And
about Coby though?
Coby came
Is
in
he starting?
and has played really well because Zach's been out. Like I think, but it was never like, all right, Coby, here's the runway. Now
Right.
you go take it. It was Coby earned the job. Let's give it to him because that's what's going to help us win. And I think that's the mentality for in all decisions
Is earned the job?
is what on the floor puts us in the best position to win.
To win. Got you.
And it's because he earned the job.
Got you. Like Io and how he got the starting
Yeah.
lineup. Got you. 10-4. But Harrison Barnes ain't starting over nobody in that starting lineup.
We'll see.
Who you putting on the bench?
I think they would
DeMar?
start. I
Like,
for
who
sure
you put on
think
the
they would
bench?
start him at the 4.
You
I
would
think
put
it would be
Harrison Barnes over Patrick and me?
Yeah. I think for sure it would be
People
think for
supporters
sure
having
it
a
would
heart
be-
attack. In the
Conniption.
not
fit.
on board with the Barnes starting over Pat idea.
Interesting.
I think it would for sure be Coby, Herter, DeMar, Barnes, Vooch. Because they want veteran players out there. They want to compete now. And
Yeah.
not saying Patrick wouldn't be a big part of the rotation, but I mean, what we've been talking about with Patrick for a long time is like putting him in a position where he has more opportunity. Coming off the bench is going to be that. And I think if you get a couple of guys in there who shoot and move the ball, like that's going to make him look better. But my point is now you're bringing in an additional power forward. You haven't moved Caruso. Torrey Craig's coming back. You still have Patrick. That's a big, crowded power forward room.
Yeah. It's big and crowded.
Big and crowded.
Big and crowded, baby. Just how I like it. My life.
Hey, P-Will supporter, no need for name calling. No need for name
He's
calling.
yelling a lot.
Man, he's
Also-
he's upset, man.
He's
Al-
upset.
Also,
real upset.
If it was up to CHGO, Javon would be the point guard and Coby would be in San Antonio. None of that is true.
Who said that?
He also said
Who's it?
that P-Will's the best defender on the team. Man, like, come on.
Okay,
They have a first-team all-defensive
you
player.
have a first-team all-defense guy, but according to P-Will supporter, Alex Caruso is trash and overrated. So there's that.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't be first team all defense and then say I'm a better defender.
One of
than
them
you.
is that, and one of them is not.
I don't.
Okay, let's
that's
quickly
the
take our second break. We'll come back to wrap up. A few more thoughts. We'll get to y'all's super chats, and of course, it is a win.
Yeah.
So we've got an Empire Goon of the Night to get
Got
to.
it.
Speaking of which, tonight's show brought to you by Empire Today. With Empire, you get shop at home convenience, the right product for your needs, quick and professional installation, and a low price guarantee. Empire is the best place to get new flooring. We all know this. You know this. So, of course, they have copycats amongst their would-be, wannabe competitors. But Empire can't be beaten on quality. They can't be beaten on service, not speed. So all competitors can try to do is just throw out some basement-level pricing on trash flooring products that Empire doesn't even bother to carry in their stock of options because it's flooring that they wouldn't put in their home, so they're not going to ask you to put it in yours. What they leave out of their selection is just as important as what they put into it. Their virtual floor designer is also a great tool you can use very easily. Just snap a picture and see how different flooring options can look in different spaces in your home. So you can see it with your decor, with your lighting, all that good stuff. They also service their own warranty, so if there is an issue of any kind, just call Empire. They will service the warranty themselves. No tracking down manufacturers and third or fourth degree of separation, Kevin Bacon phone numbers. None of that. Whoa. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All listeners to CHGO Bulls can receive $350 off. That's right. I said $350 off when you use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See EmpireToday.com/CHGO for details.
Kevin, what time is it?
It's game time.
Who?
I think I might have yelled a little loud in the mic there.
did-
Sorry to
you-
our
you-
audience.
Yeah, you went up like an owl. I like that though, because it's nighttime.
I appreciate you throwing me the lob on the
That's
first
what I
one.
do,
I
man.
was so worried in the pregame, man. Just so worried I lost it.
He was so concerned. I know everybody is on the floor, man. I give people the ball. That's how I roll. You shouldn't have to worry when you're buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets to all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events nearest you with Killer. Last minute deals, all in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying those tickets. Game Time has deals on tickets right until the start of the event, and even an hour after it starts. It is not the place. No. It is the place to find last-minute seats. Find exclusive flash deals and sponsored deals on tickets for football, basketball, baseball, concerts, hockey, comedy, theater, and much, much more. And with zone deals, you pick the section, Game Time does the selecting. And guess what you going to get? Drum roll, Matt Peck. 18% savings. Woo! That's the average of the savings that you're going to get. Cash. So go ahead and hit up Game Time and save yourself some cash and enjoy the show. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account. Use the code CHGO for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account. Redeem that code CHGO for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guarantee. Because Matthew Peck. What time is it? Give time. Who? He's always ready to shoot. Always.
What time is it? pivot towards next season. Woo! Just kidding. 4 games under 500. Here we go. 8th seed within sight.
Only way to get to 500 is win the next game. That's the only way you can do it. Woo! Let's get to the next one.
Yes, let's.
Yes.
I will. Some people in our comments are freaking out. I would, for the record, push back on the Barnes being a better starting option. I'm not saying that you feel that way. If maybe you wanted to clarify that, and maybe your assumption would be if that trade happened, you think the Bulls and Billy would lean that way. But I tend to agree with people in the comments who think Barnes is kind of eh. And I would rather, especially if they are going to reinvest in him, see those minutes go to Pat.
Yeah. Oh, every day of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it is. I want him out there. That's how it goes. Oh.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't think they're focused on investing in Pat. Like, I think they want to develop him. That's why they brought in a player development coach.
Sure.
But I just think that winning is more important. And if you are not sure about a guy that you have to pay this year, it would be nice to have a backup option in case you want to let him walk or you want to trade him for something else.
I still think if winning is more important, then you still start Pat. Like, I don't think starting Harrison Barnes is a better option. I just don't. I don't feel that.
And
way.
you also, I mean, you do have Torrey Craig under contract next season as well, right? He's on a 2-year deal.
He has a player option.
Player option. Oh well, gee, I'm Torrey Craig. I'm gonna get on up out of here.
Why? He's having a good year. He's enjoying himself.
Just, you know.
How dare he like where he at? How dare he? I hate it, so everyone should.
I wouldn't be enjoying myself if I were him. You know, other than the millions of dollars. All right, shall we get to our Empire Goon of the Night, Dave?
Kevin, hit me with it one time in the face, why don't you, sir? Goon of the Night time. Give it to me.
What am I giving to? I'm confused. This is a new segment. For
Oh,
me.
he's
What-
right.
Oh,
he didn't have
it's quite all right.
There is a Goon of the Night graphic that we run at this time.
Shoot.
That
Didn't
is
get
true.
the memo. It's fine.
He did not get the memo. That's not your fault.
No,
We don't blame you for that
It's my
at all.
bad.
We blame Will. It's all right. It's okay. But
Just like Goran Dragic, he did not get the memo.
it's okay, ladies
To
and
be
gents.
the man. No, wait. To beat the man.
To
you gotta,
be the
you
man,
gotta beat the
Wow.
man.
you gotta beat the man.
Awkward.
And I am the man. Woo! Woo! Empire today brings us Goon of the Night. Empire today, all they do is floors, no matter what. 588-2300.
Empire.
Today. Ooh, Kev wanted that. Kev was ready for that. Well done, sir. All right, well, since you own that then, Kev, I'm coming to you first, sir.
All right.
You tell me who is your Goon of the Night.
Andre Drummond, man.
Oh, no hesitation.
Andre Drummond had a great game.
He did. He played well.
I know he's got no bag with the left hand and the post and stuff, but his putbacks, his defense. I mean, I'm a fan. I think teams are going to be calling to look at Andre Drummond. He's the exact type of low risk purchase that a playoff team could acquire on a low level deal that you want. And I think that for the Bulls,
That's a good point.
I'm liking the way Drummond's playing, man. He's playing himself onto a playoff roster for sure somewhere. I don't think it's here.
The 9th seed,
I like that.
Chicago Bulls.
Matt Pat.
I think I gotta give mine to Coby.
Oh.
I mean, I know you made him the official winner on Friday night, I believe.
I believe so.
We're playing a
Yes.
lot of minutes. Yes, we got production from both of our bigs tonight for a Hornets team that's pretty small, and that was certainly a key to the win. But Coby was just making some tough buckets. Will touched on at the beginning of postgame the way that we've seen him improve the ways in which he's not only getting to the basket, but finishing through contact at the basket. Whether or not he's drawing fouls, I feel like Coby's strength and aerial balance is just like observably significantly better. And it's really fun to watch him make some of those really tough buckets inside.
Aerial balance.
Almost as fun as it was to hear you make that variety of nonverbal
Aerial
sounds.
balance, man. I was not ready.
I mean, Coby's just doing some beautifully goonish shit, and he did more tonight. In a game when I hated myself and the team I root for, and hated that I was stuck watching it because that was trash basketball, Coby was the one who I enjoyed watching occasionally because he did some beautiful stuff tonight.
Okay, I dig it. Go.
I'm going with Caruso for one simple play, which was when he
When he
took that screen and sold it so much that he got the offensive foul.
Good God.
And
Beautiful.
he started flopping before he even took the contact. That was just a thing of beauty, just a veteran play. And that's the kind of thing that I want to see when I think about goons.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing your best defender does.
I believe Big Dave awarded him a Golden Globe on seeing the
I
replay.
did award him a Golden Globe. My God.
Oppenheimer, my ass. Y'all seen Caruso sell an illegal screen?
Christopher Nolan, get out of here. Oh, my God. Well, need a drum roll from you, sir, if you don't mind.
Let's do it.
Goon of the night. I had someone different. But as I tell you, this is why I listen to the arguments. Because I was just swayed. Goon of the night goes to Alex Caruso. I agree. I completely agree with Will Gottlieb.
Wow.
That is some goon shit.
I get some goon points for that.
Oh, of course you do.
Telling you all
Yes.
that?
I think I
This
need
is what
the
I hear
Webster-
Hell yeah.
I think I need the Webster's definition of goon.
Well, there are many varieties.
Goon means what you want it to mean.
That's the
I'm
beauty
not,
of
I'm not being.
It's
a
not
soda.
about the great way you play. Like, it's a part of it, sure. Like, having a lot of points around is cool. But sometimes some player just does something within the game that is just
That
like
can only be
wild.
described as goon shit.
That is
Yeah.
some goon shit. Like watching Dalen Terry last year on the sideline was goon shit. You know what I mean? Just dancing, going crazy, doing all that stuff. Awesome stuff. Drummond, yeah, I think he leads right now in goon titles right now. I think he's leading because he definitely has done some goon things. So, yeah, or it could be something someone has said.
Yeah,
Or
Drummond hit him with the two
he
small
did.
tonight.
He definitely did. I mean, hey, it's only one can have the title. There are many worthy candidates. But again, this is why there's 82 games of this, because there are many more to give out, hopefully, because he's only giving out on wins. But I agree with Will wholeheartedly. That was some goonish. And the fact that he's right, I gave the man an award for his acting ability out there. How can I not hand him also the title of Goon of the Night? Well done. Well done, GOAT. Well done. Proud of you.
I feel great about that.
You get to take that belt home.
That was the most accomplished I've felt all day, and I did a podcast with Tim freaking Legler.
Optimistic Bulls fan said Zach Levine is goon of the night for that defensive stop on Scary Terry at the end. Speaking of which, that's why certain people supporter Paul Williams among them, upset with the Caruso goon pick because they thought he played bad defense on Rozier tonight, allowing 39 points. I mean,
He was cooking.
he was cooking.
He was cooking, man. Terry Rozier was on it tonight. But, yeah, I give him that love. Shout out to him on that. All right.
We got a couple of super chats to get to before we get out of here.
Yeah,
Mr. Wells.
we got like 5 of them.
Let's do
I'll
it,
throw
baby.
It in.
Come on with it.
You want me to-
Manuel, who said, you guys, we moved to ninth. Moved to ninth place. Let's go. It's happening. I'm hyped AF.
Let's go, man.
Hashtag press the like button. Yeah, man.
So
Well,
I'll rock with you, man.
hit that thumbs up button. Congrats to the
fun.
Bulls who moved into sole possession of ninth place in the East
Winning's fun.
with that hilarious win over the Hornets. Yay.
Better than a hilarious loss.
I'm so stoked. Can you tell how stoked I am?
Oh, I can. It's written all over your face.
AK with a 1999 super chat. Shout out. Saying Bulls seem like they had pockets of rhythm. Zach's value going further in the toilet. DeMar's ISO ill-advised. Yep, agree to that. 42 points, 25 rebounds from your center position. Team's just not fun to watch unless led by Coby. Agreed. Yeah, I'm not feeling great about Zach's trade value with these games that he's come back and played. Shout out to our man, the Duke, who threw us a $20 super chat saying, sitting in a dark room listening to Everybody Hurts. They just showed MJ in a box at the college football championship. What?
Of course he is.
What I'd give to go back to those days. We were winners. I was thin-ish, and I didn't have to pee at 2 a.m. Getting old is tough, isn't it, Duke? Man, appreciate you. I did not know that MJ was at the...
With Stephen A. Smith
With Stephen A? Of course, man.
and some other people, but Stephen A. was
is the one.
a headliner in the
Yes,
box.
absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean,
people from that tape.
Everybody Hurts is a jam. No shame. in listening to that in the dark if it helps you cope. I'm sure Duke is also in rough shape. We all know Duke is, in addition to being a Bulls fan, a diehard Bears fan.
Yes.
I'm guessing was rooting real hard to knock out the Packers at Lambeau yesterday.
I'm sure.
Didn't get it done.
I'm sure. Didn't happen.
So it was a tough Monday.
It was.
Tough Monday for Chicago sports fans.
Go get Caleb.
Connor Bedard has a broken jaw and is out for a while.
Tough.
Best thing that happened today is the Bulls got this win.
Won.
I guess.
That's right. We'll carry today.
AK with another couple super chats saying Coby got that flickety flicka hair foul move down to Austin Reeves level. His hair flicks for fouls defy gravity. Glad he is on the team.
Right.
Flickety flicka hair. Interesting. That's a new one. I've never heard that before. But I did tell you, as like they were coming out to the floor tonight, I thought Kobe's hair looked extra bouncy.
Yeah, he's probably back
He got a
home.
cut.
Yeah, he got a cut. He's back home.
his beard lined up?
Is lined up, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's back home.
Zach had a nice cut too. Maybe they did
Yeah.
it together. Yeah.
Zach
I
had
am
his
not a
cut.
fan of Zach's current look.
Not a fan of the fade?
fade just looks off balance weird.
I like low fade. I do kind of like low fade Zach.
Yeah.
Low fade Zach when it was smooth
I
and
think it's
smooth.
good, man.
And
I like
aerial, I like that one. And it's not helping him play well. I mean, cut it off.
Last AK super chat. Thank you, AK. Did you guys see Zach put his head down in disgust when Debo didn't pass open Vooch or Zach at the end of regulation? I did not see that. Did you guys see that?
I didn't see it.
Who did?
Apparently, Zach put his head down in disgust when DeMar had iso ball failure at the end of regulation.
It's a ball failure.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time we've seen something like that.
Yeah. Maybe he was mad. Well, he could have been mad that we're going into overtime. That could have been the thing, too. Could have been the case.
None of us were happy about that game going to overtime.
No, I was happy about winning. I was happy about, but I did not want to go to overtime. No, I didn't want to go there.
Zero reason we should still be doing this show, because we should have wrapped up 5 minutes ago, because we should have started 5 minutes ago, because the game should not have gone to overtime, because the Bulls should have taken care of business in regulation.
Every day.
I'm mad about 5 minutes?
Right now I am, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to let you roll with that, Goat.
They should have won that game in regulation. Come on.
I'm not arguing
yes,
that.
they
Not
should
arguing
have.
that. Not
Yes,
arguing
they
that.
absolutely
You're
should
absolutely
have.
right.
No
You're
excuse
absolutely
to need overtime against that joke of a current Hornet
right.
squad.
You're right.
You're all NBA players. No offense to you, but for fuck's sake, that's embarrassing.
Nope. A loss is embarrassing.
I mean, I would have laughed my ass
Give me the
off.
win.
Instead of being cranky about this win, I would have been laughing hysterically about a loss.
Oh, yeah, because you were ready already.
I was ready. I was
He
so
had
ready.
his cackle ready. Tear it down. He couldn't wait.
That's it for tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. I know that the college football championship's going on, and you chose to be here. Maybe
Thank you.
multitasking while doing so. We appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. We appreciate that. We appreciate the super chats, all the chats. We will be back on Wednesday. Bulls back in action against the Rockets. Coming back home.
Off tomorrow.
Off tomorrow. Back in action Wednesday. And actually, that Houston team is also dealing with some key absences. They've been without Dylan Brooks for a minute. They also are without Tari Eason.
Yeah.
So we'll see what kind of shape that Rockets team is in when they come to the UC on Wednesday. We'll
come
see
the
you
Bulls.
Pre-game 6:30 Central Time for that one. Have a great rest of your Monday night. Have a great Tuesday. We'll talk to you Wednesday 6:30. Until then, shout out and thank you to Kevin Wells on the controls, being our wonderful producer tonight, filling in for Joseph. Will the Go Gottlieb, follow him for all of his Bulls reporting and updates. Will_Gottlieb. Big Dave's at Balby at WL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls, and we appreciate you. We love you. Even you, P. Will supporter. Even you. Talk your shit.
I'm not Harrison Barnes supporter.
See you, Red. Be good.
All silly like the mayor.